left, Kenny Castor on the right. These two friends have met here, vanquishing 214 other players. There were 216 people here today. The final two sit before you, ready to battle.
We have Merfolk on the left, Rug Delver on the right. Who will win? Who can tell?
Now, you can let us know who you think is likely to win this one. Tweet at SCG Live. Who do you think is going to win? Kenny Castor with Rug Delver? Or do you think it's going to be Joshua Cho with Merfolk? I do think Josh has a advantage here. Lots
Why?
of lords. I like all the island walking. There's a lot of island walking now. Eight cards.
Josh already defeated a Rug Delver deck on his way to this match, right?
Yeah, absolutely. 2-0, in fact.
Yeah.
A throttling. And he is not messing around with his sideboard either. He's got 4 submerges.
And he's got those dismembers in the main deck.
Yeah. Prepped for an opponent like Kenny Castor. Edgar Magales. Josh Cho, he says. Merfolk Pride.
Represent. Woo-woo.
Kenny Castor on the right, hoping that the popular opinion of people like Edgar and I is incorrect here today. Now, even if...
We have a question from Strongstad. You're asking if you know what you're talking about regarding Reanimator? I'm not sure that I'm in a position to know for sure if you know what you're talking about, but we do know for sure that Knight of the Reliquary, Caracas, Ooze, and Thalia are all very reasonable cards, but of course so are Brainstorm and Ponder and Thoughtseize. Do know historically, though, from looking at all the results, that Reanimator has performed very well against most breeds of Maverick.
And we have another tweet from that BMK Ibler, who's saying some stuff as well. BMK says Thalia is downright insane against all of these quote-unquote unfair decks.
Yes, of course, green-white is the best in all formats, obviously.
Josh Cho giving us the double peace signs. Thank you to BMK Ibler.
Look, Kibler, let's be serious. You and I both know Grixis is the only real deck.
And a lot of Cho love today on Twitterverse.
It is a really good matchup for Merfolk, so there's that.
I don't know what's going on here on camera, but we got some crazy faces, some laughter.
Is Cho drunk?
No.
Or punch drunk?
He's punch drunk from 26 hours of Magic over these last couple of days. I know I feel a little bit punch drunk. I'm not as punch drunk as I was in Detroit, when it just seemed like all that could be done is laughter. But that was a crazy little finals.
It's a good thing we have the clock stopped at 1 second.
Well, the match...
Or the shuffling may never end.
Mark Sun wants to bring in some wisdom. Mark Sun, a well-known legacy player. The peace signs were V for victory signs. And Mark says, some weird Asian thing. Mark, also Asian, can say that.
Anybody can say it.
Anyone can say it. That's true.
It's just accurate when you're Asian, right?
Yeah. And Mark Sun says, rooting for Cho?
All right. We're looking for somebody at home who thinks that Kenny Castor and his Rug Delver deck are favored. If we can get...
just one voice for... If only one of you claps your hands. Wait a second, those aren't fairies, those are insects. Never mind. And that just prompts Eric Klug to say, go Cho. Klug alters.
Well, we are on a slight delay.
Aether Vial.
So things have gone from bad to worse for Kenny Castor. If this resolves, what do you think the chances are that this resolves?
Well, we'll see what a Brainstorm says. Or a Thought Scour. for those of you who are just joining us, this is the beginning of the final match of the weekend here in the very first New York State event
Very powerful days.
for Star City Games.
The days on the Spell Pierce to fight over the Ether Vial.
Oh, double days!
Another days.
It's a huge fight.
So everybody
The
puts all
game
of
is
their cards in the grid.
reset.
We're starting over.
Okay, turn 1, kind of.
But Kenny,
tropical.
from the looks of it, Kenny's hand is what? Spell Pierce, blue card, Force of Will, land?
Perhaps.
Kenny is almost out of everything.
Ooh, a goose is on top. Oh, it's so good.
So we're going to see a Nimble Mongoose from Kenny Castor? We are.
And Strong Sad says he doesn't think Kenny is favored, but it ain't so bad.
We think that it is totally lopsided, 55-45.
And we see Silver Girl Adept revealing a Master.
If there's one thing I've learned, it's that everything that is even more so.
Kenny Castor, Force of Will, tossing Force of Will. We're going to have to be a little bit cautious. There's even fewer people in this hall. So even though it would be a pretty huge toss to be able to, you know, throw a stone at those guys over there, they can still potentially hear us. Nimble Mongoose on the table.
Curse Catcher showing down Nimble Mongoose. Cho says, I'm betting you're not going to block. And if you do, that's fine. Kenny Castor says, good call.
Kirk, who we talked to earlier, says he thinks Castor is favored, assuming he's splashing white for Wild Nakata, Lightning Helix, and Path to Exile.
Which he is not.
You know, I have not seen a Zoo player in a long time.
I saw Pat Cox the other day.
Well, I mean, I have not seen a Zoo deck played in a long time.
Yeah, I mean...
Good answer, though. Good answer, Patrick. Josh Boos still rooting for High Tide. Well, that ship has sailed today, my friend.
I predict High Tide will eventually win. Eventually. Josh Cho has a Curse Catcher, a Mutavault, an Island, not a lot of cards in hand, versus Kenny Castor with a Nimble Mongoose, Tropical Island, Scalding Tarn, and also not a lot of cards in hand. Both players, in a flurry of spells on turn 1, have left themselves depleted of resources.
Wasteland on Mutavault.
These are definitely two decks that are designed to just bash, you know, like just have each other's cards go 1 for 1 and leave both players starved of resources and count on the fact that both decks are so low to the ground.
Master.
What's interesting is that the Merfolk deck is actually a little bit bigger. It can be the control deck at times, just as, you know, on account of having so many more expensive and powerful spells.
And Will Blanton hopes that the Rug deck wins. Why? He hates tribal decks.
And you know, that makes a lot of sense. Hate. Brainstorm from Kenny Castor. At this point, the Mongoose is about to get loose, right? Like, I mean, he can't block anything as long as the Master is in play.
Master.
He can block the Master itself, but looks like he's gonna get proactive. Plus, he's just respecting the fact that Cho could so easily drop another Lord of Atlantis
there
or
are 7
Z-Master
other
number
cards
2.
he could drop to make that Master of the Pearl Trident also unblockable. Volcanic Island fetched by Scalding Tarn. Both colors available now for Kenny.
To delve the secrets. Looks like Kenny is trying to mount some counterattack. There is
Second
another master, as anticipated.
Wasteland hanging out. Take care of the red source. In comes a grand total of 6 and a attack next turn for 9 if it gets no help.
Which is lethal.
That's lethal. Delver, what do you say, Delver? That's a good card. Thought Scour.
It's okay.
No, I'm not saying it's good now.
Ah,
It's a good card, though.
yeah. Yeah, he's gonna... I mean, he doesn't have a red mana or a removal spell, so I think he's just dead.
And ponder. What you thinking? Ooh, he could cleverly wasteland himself during combat. Lay the wasteland. Do it. Yeah.
So, Josh Cho now has to deal with the fact that Kenny Castor can waste his own tropical. Stand still. Things have gone from bad to worse.
And here they come. Well,
Kenny destroys his own land.
take that, lords.
So he's going to double block, right? Like one, or he's going to have each of the guys block a lord? Or does he just block one and start to abyss them?
Go down to 2.
It's got to be the plan, right? No, he's just dead on board that way. He has to block both masters.
There we go.
So what's the parlay here? He's going to take 3, go to 5. Oh, he just packs
He's going
it
to
in.
pack it up, pack it in.
All right, so that means it's time for trivia.
Okay. Josh Cho takes the first one. Kenny Castor looks sad, but you can look happy at home if you are the winner as well of the trivia contest. This is the big giveaway.
This is the big one.
For
all the marbles.
Day pass to Gen Con.
Best
Now,
4 days in gaming.
please, if you cannot go to Gen Con August 16th to 19th, if you cannot go to Gen Con, do not enter this contest. Do not take these tickets and burn them. No, let somebody who can go to Gen Con enter the contest. So, to win the contest, hashtag SCG Premium in your answer to Patrick Chapin's trivia question.
Yep, and remember to tweet at SCG Live. Question is, who is better than all? If you know the answer, tweet at SCG Live using hashtag SCGNY. No, not us. Nope. Who is better than all?
Is Bill Bolden here? Does he know?
I can tell.
I couldn't tell you.
He's not nearby to ask, so.
Well, if he was here, I would ask him. He knows a lot of stuff.
Yep.
So,
Who is better than all?
one lucky winner who tweets to hashtag SCG Premium with their correct answer could be randomly selected. You could be you. You could be going to Gen Con. Well, we're going to go back to our match in progress. Kenny Castor is going to be able to choose to play here if he chooses. I expect he will. Losing game 1 to Joshua Cho, who just overwhelmed him with lords. Pyroblast.
That sure felt like 42.
Yeah, that was a lot of lords. I mean, if you run that many lords, it pretty much does feel like you're, 23, 42. It's all the same. A lot of lords. Whew.
This match a little quicker paced than the 37 land matchups that we're used to seeing.
I see I see an answer from BMK Ibler that says.
No, it's not from Kibler.
I know it's not from Kibler.
No, it's
honestly.
in reference to him.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah.
Actually,
The question is not who is more handsome than all. The question is who is better than all.
I have to say, Kirk at Cat Tribal. I'm just going to share this because he says on principle, it's wild in the coddle. Okay, Josh Cho shuffling up. Kenny Castor shuffling up. Who is going to win this game? Josh wants to end this with a quick 2-0. Kenny hoping to make this be a 3-game match. Awesome answers abounding in this trivia question.
So what's Kenny looking to see in his opening hand? What's the card, the number 1 card he wants most?
Well, on the play, I think he's going to want to put down a Delver, flip it, and follow it up with removal on all of the lords.
It's tough. He's only got 2 Pyroblasts in the board. That's, he brings in 1 life from the loam and 2 Pyroblasts. That's not a lot of defense. Meanwhile, Cho already had a fantastic game 1. Gains 4 Submerge. If he wants some images, Umezawa's Jitte. If he wants Blue Elemental Blast, and if he wants Kira Great Glass Spinner.
I actually have been a real fan of Kira in these removal important matchups, but unfortunately, I have not played Merfolk with Kira versus Rug Delver since, basically since before Delver was printed, so it was more Canadian Threshold then. And I don't know if Kira still stands up as useful anymore.
I still remember the first time I saw Kira. in the early 90s in my friend's basement. Akira?
Right. That's a fun movie.
So Josh Cho. Going to 6? No, he's going to 7. He hasn't looked at him yet. He's just fanning him out. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. If only we had an inside source to know what. Oh, are they laughing at Kenny Castor having to take a mulligan?
Oh man, I'm kind of laughing inside. Gen Con bot, which I have to imagine is a bot for Gen Con, has retweeted our question here, our SCG premium question. So thank you, whoever set up Gen Con bot, for retweeting our
I think it's
question.
just auto searching for the word Gen Con.
I think it is too.
But Gen Con bot, I'm sorry, that is not the correct answer that we were looking for. Your heart is in the right place.
Oh man. Another question for everyone out there in the Twitterverse. What do you sideboard in if you are Josh Cho and you're playing this matchup? Presume you want to win.
Yeah, so that's like, what do you sideboard in if you do? Josh Joe. Totally laid back. A veteran to the top 8s these days. I'm telling you, he has been absolutely on fire over the past 365.
And Misty Rainforest from Kenny Castor to start us out. Aether Vial, perhaps? Curse Catcher.
Curse Catcher. Gotta catch 'em all.
And Bill Bolden retweeting from home. Or from somewhere. We are actually really close, I think, to Bill's home turf.
Buffalo?
Yeah.
That's correct, we're in it.
Right. Well, I wasn't sure if he was a Buffalo guy or an Albany guy.
He is a Buffalo guy. Represent for the Buff.
Okay, we get our Volcanic Island #1 of 3 here for Kenny Castor. Kenny really pushing the envelope here. Only 3 of each of these lands that make mana. Ponder turn 1, or turn 1.
So Josh Cho, still sitting on just an island and a Curse Catcher, with a strong matchup. He's up 1-0 versus his good buddy Kenny Castor, who has a Volcanic Island that he fetched up with Misty Rainforest. Volcanic Island being tapped to Ponder. Ponder doesn't like what he sees and he shuffles.
At Cat Tribal with some more zoo references. Okay. A Master from Josh Cho gets dazed, and Josh Cho sacrifices the Curse Catcher to counter the daze.
The Master.
And Josh, ready to put that Master in the yard. Fork Bolt to get rid of it.
There is definitely more where that came from. Here is the Reejery.
Oof, what is their land?
No colored mana.
1 wasteland here could be pretty bad.
I think we're smelling a Johawk.
3 region #2. Tap or untap? Untap! Oh my god, all the damages. Take 7.
So, Kenny's life total dropping from 19 to 12. He is now facing Looming Doom. Another Lord. And it's game over.
That is it. I'm pretty sure. Ooh, and never mind, there is a Pyroblast there. He's still got a shot.
He's in a real bad way.
This is a real tight spot.
He's been in tighter, but not by much.
In for 1, not going to block. Why bother hanging back? Take the 1. Any more Lords?
Any more Plague Rats?
All the rats. Dismember.
Well, the good news is this doesn't... Oh.
Stand still.
Well, it's a lot less good of news.
Dun,
Kenny
dun,
just pops it in. And Josh Cho is your champion of SCG NY.
Congratulations to Josh Cho. Awesome times. I had not seen Josh Cho in a long time and ran into him in Nashville. Just nice as can possibly be, coming off of his Pro Tour top 8. And here he is, continuing with victories.
Josh
Yeah,
Cho.
I'm a Cho fan.
The entire top 8, though. A nice, diverse selection of decks.
Yeah.
A lot of strong players.
Yeah, we had 7 archetypes in the top 8.
Yep.
That's pretty great, I think.
For both formats, too. Or maybe 6 in standard. It's a very diverse mix this weekend. All right, we have ourselves a winner. Ryan Butler at XXGreed71XX.
Right.
Narrowly edging out Gen Con Badge Bot. Or Gen
Con bots.
Yes. Ryan Butler at XXGreed71XX. Make sure you're following SCG Live so that we can find you and ship you that paper.
Now, remember, Gen Con is the awesomest, so if you come, bring some friends.
Yes.
Seriously, Ryan, good times. Good times we'll
If
have
you
you
come,
Kyle.
you have to
You
come.
have
out.
to
You
come.
are
It's true.
contractually obligated.
It's true.